Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course from New Earth One Network. This is designed exclusively for your higher self connection and embodiment.
Hi, I'm Adalna East, neuroscience researcher, international lecturer, spiritual healer, and intuitive channel. I founded my healing modality, transformational healing, after a very long struggle with chronic pain, anxiety, and PTSD. I had seen 27 doctors and no one could find what was happening with me. But throughout my process, I used my background in neuroscience and counseling, as well as my gift of intuitive channeling, to channel healing through to myself from my intuitive and spiritual guides. I decided it was my mission on this earth to share this healing with all of you. I'm so very honored and so pleased to work with you. I work with the Pleiadians, Sirians, Lyrians, and so many more. I look forward to talking with you more soon.
Hi, everybody. Let's come into the now together. Take a deep breath in and close your eyes. And feel your feet on the floor where you're sitting or standing. See the environment around you. And now imagine it as your new earth, because your new earth is right now. It is exactly as you created. And so whatever it is that you want to see in your new earth, visualize those surroundings right out in front of you, and hear the sounds and smell the smells and breathe into this space, letting go of anything holding you back from being here now. And one more deep breath in and a deep breath out. And welcome.
Adalna East, who worked with these frequencies she's going to share today to heal her own life. And this is how you can design your aura for connection, literally rewiring your brain. Hello, Adalna. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Loren. Thank you for having me back again.
Tell us about designing our aura for our connection. What do you mean by this?
So we all have an aura. I'm sure all of your beautiful listeners are familiar with their auric field, but it extends out around us about 4 feet for most people. And for some more, it depends on how much energy you put into your aura. And our aura can act as an attractant for us. It's the first thing that people see when you walk into a room. And so I began to notice people's auras. Even over Zoom in this time period that we're in, you can feel someone's aura and sometimes even see or hear their aura before you see them. And I found that redesigning my aura to bring in the things that I want into my life and to create the kind of boundaries that I want to have between me and others and between me and my spirit guides was just the most incredible game changer for me. And so I really wanted to share it with other people. And my guides channeled through this beautiful course that we'll discuss later to redesign your aura, to set up the boundaries that you want to have, and to create manifestation through your auric field.
Okay, so for those who are not familiar, can you describe the auric field and the layers of the field?
Sure. So our aura is usually about 4 feet out in front of us. I've found that I've been able to extend mine out to 10 feet. And this layer that is closest to our bodies usually functions as a part of ourselves. So for some people, it tends to be, if you're very in touch with your intuition, it tends to be more violet in color, matching the violet color of our third eye chakra. And for some people, it tends to be more yellow if they're very self-confident, reflecting our third chakra. And then the next layer out from that one tends to be the one that really draws in the things that we want. So we want to work with that layer, especially if we're trying to manifest something. And then the farthest outer layer is the layer that works with our boundaries. It helps to protect us from the things that we don't want around us, the things we don't want in our life. And it can also form as a barrier at times to our own spiritual connection. And so working with our aura is really important to keep that level of it clear so that we can always connect in with our guides and break down any barriers between us.
How does one's aura get affected by other people? And how would we know when that was happening?
And that's a really good question. So generally, I think most of your audience is quite empathic. So you know when it's happening. When you meet a new person, whether it's through Zoom or in person, you can kind of feel their energy and you have an automatic response to that person. And I'm not saying that if your automatic response is negative to completely bar any possibility of friendship or anything else, but often our first instinct is pretty right on. And so if you're meeting a new person and you're not getting the best vibration from them, if you're not feeling immediately like you want to continue a conversation and really get to know them, that is likely your intuition and your auric field letting you know that this person is just not for you. There's nothing wrong with them. There are just certain people that we'll connect with on a deeper level. Our aura, that outer layer that can help us as an energetic protection, really lets us know, usually through visceral sensations. So some people might feel it in their stomach, some people might feel it in their throat. I've had a lot of people talk about feeling it in their feet lately. This is a very Pleiadian thing. And so when you meet a new person, feel your body, feel what that protective part of your aura is telling you about that new person.
Why would this Pleiadian thing have to do something with the feet?
Well, what I've found is that my feet are very sensitive. I know that I am of Pleiadian ancestry, and I believe many light workers are, and many people who've had long-term health conditions often have Pleiadian ancestry somewhere in there. And the reason is that the Pleiadians are very natural healers. And often we find ourselves in a position where we heal ourselves, we learn what to do to heal ourselves, and then we can use that same healing with other people to benefit the human collective at this time. And so one thing that I hear from the Pleiadians about often is about the feet of the human collective. They're the part of us that's grounded in the earth. And as we travel multidimensionally, sometimes to communicate with our guides or to do healing work, whatever the case may be, our feet can become very sensitive because we're moving multidimensionally so often and basically consciously pulling our feet up off of the ground to do so. And so one of the things we talk about often in my sessions with clients and that kind of thing is how to really make sure that you stay in a grounded place when you're doing this kind of work. And the Pleiadians always bring through really helpful things for that, to make sure that we are able to keep our feet grounded, so to speak, while we astral travel and ascend multidimensionally.
So tell us how you have begun to work with the Pleiadians and the Syrians and how you brought forth this process.
So transformational healing came through my own very long-term health struggle. And I remembered that when I was little, my grandmother had taught me how to communicate with certain spirits, like the spirits of the trees and the flowers and that kind of thing. She's of Native American ancestry and has done a lot of healing work herself. And when I was so ill, I couldn't move. I was in a wheelchair for a year and a half. I started hearing from my guides again, and the Pleiadians were some of the first guides I heard from, Archangel Michael and the Pleiadians. And I just asked whatever guides I was working with for their names and was very lucky to know what to do and to know how to communicate in that way. And the Pleiadians and Archangel Michael started bringing through certain processes for me to be able to heal myself. And over time, transformational healing was born. It combines rewriting certain old traumatic memories. So we use neurolinguistic programming, which is a psychological technique whereby you go back in your own history to a traumatic time and you rewrite it into something really empowering and helpful for you. And that is effective, but what I found when working with Archangel Michael is that it became so much more effective when we added in the humming of tones. And so my guides channel through to me certain tones that will help with certain things. And so once we do the rewriting of the old traumatic memory part, then we do some toning together. And that toning process helps to solidify this new memory that we are creating. And in neuroscience, we're able to actually rewrite some of the brain's neuronal pathways, which means rewriting old memories and ability to change our behavior, to change our thoughts, to change our beliefs. All of this is possible. And when you change all of those things, you're almost a new person. And so by doing this process repetitively and over time, I was able to heal so many of the things that were holding me back. And once all of this transformational healing was taking place, I just had to share it because I was able to walk again. I was able to move forward in my life without so many fears and phobias and a lot of the things that had been holding me back. And once all of that was taking place, channeling the Pleiadians and the Syrians and Arcturians and all of the different guides that I work with, the Divine Feminine Ascended Masters, all of that just started to flow because I was letting go of enough old things to be able to welcome in new things. I was creating space for it. And so in the process of doing that, I've been so fortunate to channel through several different courses about different topics that the guides want us to have. They want us to have these tools in our arsenal for this time. It's such an important time of awakening on the planet. And so this course, Auric Imprints, has been one of those beautiful toolkits for us that really walks us through how to let go of old things, how to let go of old traumas that had to do with boundaries or forgiveness, and several different themes in order to welcome in newness, life that we want.
Yes, and as we know, we cannot take baggage with us into new earth.
Right.
I find it fascinating that the sound and the vibration and the humming actually helps us assimilate and ground in the change or to clear. And Science will be proving this as well. In fact, sound healers are discovering this, but you've discovered this in your own healing. That's quite an amazing story that you were in a wheelchair and you used this to heal yourself. Our expansion is never over, and we
Mhm.
begin to work in partnership like you've worked in partnership with your guides and these beautiful higher dimensional beings. Isn't that fascinating?
It is, and it's such a beautiful process that I can't. There are moments when I'm almost grateful for the experience because it allowed me to create this healing modality and to be able to share it with the world. And what I've always heard from the guides is that our greatest pain is always our greatest passion in the end. And I know that you know because you're also a fellow sound healer. But there are really a great deal of studies these days about sound healing and about how it can heal certain things. And I feel like you do, that we are just at the very beginning of all of this scientific research into the way that sound heals, into the way that it works with the brain, because our brains are our body's computer. And so whatever is happening there is happening throughout the rest of our bodies. And by humming and using these tones, we can really tap into vibrational frequencies that deeply affect the body and, of course, the mind and soul too.
This helps others because in that time of going through the incredible health challenge, I mean, being in a wheelchair, the mind could totally take off in a
It
different
did.
direction with that. Yeah. How did you know, or did you know that there was something on the other side of this? And what would you say for someone going through something to be able to look beyond to the other side?
I think what we were talking about at the beginning of the show is so helpful about being in the now. So, one thing that I know I did when I was very laid up was that my mind would spiral, and it still does sometimes today. I'm still a human, but my mind would spiral into, okay, if I'm going to live like this for the rest of my life, then I need to find a new profession because I can't work for the United Nations anymore. I can't travel anymore. So I'm going to have to find something new to do. But I don't know what my background would allow me to do that won't have me use my body. But then I also don't know what to do about this or about that. And the spiral would continue. And that is not helpful for your brain. It actually reinforces negative neuronal pathways. And so what I found was the most helpful thing, and actually the only way at all that I could get into a place of calm enough to reach my spirit guides, was to be completely in the now. So the process that we had at the beginning of this time together today of feeling your feet on the floor, feel the chair against your back, feel exactly where you are now for a moment, and then put yourself into your new earth. That was really something that helped me just get back to who I was and get grounded and centered again, and remember that I had resources. Even if you're in the midst of a major health or emotional crisis, every single person on this earth has resources. You have your ability to breathe in and out. And by regulating your breath, by taking a certain number of counts in, holding for a moment, and more counts out, so like an 8-count breath in, hold for a moment, and 10-count breath out, you can actually relax your body into a parasympathetic state, which is a healing state. And so even if all of your other resources are not panning out for you, you still have your breath. And that's something positive that you can do for yourself today to get your body into healing mode. So the process that we're going to do today is very timely for the Now Show. What the Pleiadians and Syrians have been sending through is this methodology basically for us to be able to be fully in the present moment as we travel together through multidimensional space and connect in with our guides. So if everyone could just come to a place of stillness and close your eyes. And we'll do that deep breath together, just to get you in the habit of it. And so take a deep breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. And exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. And exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And ground your feet into your new earth, whatever this looks like for you. Whether it is beach or forest, perhaps it is a place of your own creation with pink clouds or pink sand, whatever this looks like. And pull the healing energy all the way up through your body, up through every chakra, every meridian. And it matters not if you aren't aware of where these are in your body, for it is taking place already. And then move your mind, body and spirit up through the sky, up through the clouds, up through the stars and the planets, and further up through the different colors of the universe, the reds and oranges, yellows, greens, blues, pinks and purples, and further up through the laws of the universe. And today we will work with the law for the transmutation of energy. And further up until you reach this place of iridescent white light. And breathe this light into your structure. Allow it to flow through you. We welcome in all of our spirit guides today. We have many with us. We have the Divine Feminine Ascended Masters, Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin, the Pleiadians, the Syrians, and so many others. And we are very pleased to speak with all of you today. We will speak together as a one voice. And what we wish most for you is to allow yourself the time and the space in order to do your own spiritual work, your own self-healing. For when you heal yourself, you begin to heal the collective. And we're so very grateful for all of you beautiful light workers on the planet at this time. And we wish to bring you all of the healing and all of the tools that you need in order to continue your work. And so we're very pleased to be with you today, to walk you through this process of strengthening your auric fields, allowing your auric field to attract in what you desire and to act as an energetic boundary between you and those for which you may be having an overwhelmingly empathetic reaction to. For what we see in this very sophisticated group of light beings is that many of you are healers. And at times you take on some extra pain from others as they go to you for help and for healing. And this could be family members or clients. And of course, they do not do this on purpose. This is never purposeful. This is not something that is malicious. It is their attraction to your light. And so we wish to work with you in your auric field today to resolve this. And we ask you to imagine yourself working with someone, whether this is a family member, a friend, a client, hearing their story, and allowing it to pass by you. So visually see the words coming out of their mouth and see those words bouncing off of your auric field Remember, your aura is anywhere from 4 to 10 to 15 feet around you. And as you see their words bouncing off of your auric field, of course, you are feeling for them and helping them and guiding them towards their own self-healing, but not taking on anything that's coming towards you. Allowing your auric field to be this energetic boundary that you need. For all of you light workers who are doing this work, we are again so very grateful for you. Continue to visualize this as we use these tones together to strengthen that auric field. And please connect your first finger with your thumb on both hands. We will work with certain parts of your brain through different hand motions today. And you may rest your hands in your lap and please tone with us. If your tones do not match the tones of this channel, of course, this is okay. And now please connect your ring finger with your pinky and your thumb on both hands. First two fingers extended up. And you may rest your hands in your lap. And please continue to tone with us. Visualizing the other person's words moving off of your auric field, your strengthened auric field. And relax your hands and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And softly and gently bring your mind, body, and spirit down through the different layers of the universe, the purples and pinks, blues, greens, yellows, oranges, and reds, and further down through the planets and the stars, waving hello to us, your star brothers and sisters on your way down. And all the way down, grounding your feet back into your new earth, this place of your design. And bring this healing energy all the way up your feet and your legs, through your entire structure. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And slowly open your eyes.
Wonderful tool. Really
Absolutely.
wonderful tool. You said this was a specific tool in your repertoire. What was that?
I mean, this one is particularly important for all of us light workers at this time because as there are so many shifts and changes on our earth, people are a bit more, shall we say, outwardly upset. And for many of us light workers, we got here by being very empathic and feeling everyone's everything and being able to tune in to that vibration of that person in order to lead them towards healing. And so I feel at this point in time, the most important thing that we can do for our own self-healing and our own ability to keep working with people and to keep serving in this way is to really protect our own vibration. And working with this tool that we just used of being able to strengthen that layer of our auric field that protects us energetically from other people's feelings, other people's dramas, that's really important right now so that we can continue to stay in our own elevated vibration and continue to serve in the ways that we know are natural and important to us.
So here's your course. It's good for everybody, but for those who are even dealing with health issues like you were.
It runs the whole gambit. So there are a lot of different themes in this course, but as with all of my work, every course I ever produce, my subscription service, my sessions, my mentorship, is geared towards who know that they are a bit different. I'm really different, and I know that, and it took me a long time to embrace that. My mind works differently, my heart works differently. And so this course is geared towards those who already are aware that they're a bit different, they process energy differently. And this course really focuses on allowing you to clear out what's not serving you in your life purpose today. And the way, there's many different approaches to this, of course, and I approach it differently in every course. But the approach in this course is through working with our auric field. So one of the major themes in this course is about forgiveness, which has gotten kind of a bad rap in the spiritual community at times. But it's important for us to forgive ourselves for things, because if we're hanging on to any sort of self-denial or self-hate about anything that's happened in the past, well, then of course we can't be so open to receive messages from our guides, to receive the healing that we want, and then to be able to flow that back out into the world. This course also focuses on working with energetic boundaries. So the process that we just did is a shorter version of something that we do in the course, whereby we look through we do kind of a scan of this lifetime and of past lifetimes, if you're able, to see where there have been holes punctured in our energetic boundaries, or when we've been asked to give those up, and the ways in which we can rewrite that to be more empowering for us to be able to have our own boundaries and our own space, to do our own self-healing, again, so that we can then show up in the world differently and be the person that we came to be. And so I really recommend this course for anyone who's going through any sort of health situation, because all of this work really is designed for that. But also anyone who is interested in working with their energetic boundaries and creating a better sense of who they really are in connection with their guides so that they can move forward.
Really, the information that comes through is channeled material. All of it is channeled. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
What are
always.
some of the most amazing things that you've learned from that channeling?
Well, I'm a science nerd. So what's always the most amazing thing to me is that our guides really know who we are on the inside, and they channel to us things that are complementary to our educational background, to our life experience. And they allow us to share those things and encourage us to share those things because it's something that we already have expertise in. And then hearing their wisdom on top of our expertise, well, that's just the most incredible thing in the world. So I love working with the Pleiadians and Sirians and Arcturians because they are also, in my opinion, science nerds. And when I talk to them about different physiological processes from my neuroscience background, for example, the thing that we were talking about earlier about the breath and that bringing you into the parasympathetic state. Well, isn't it just genius that they channel through this toning process where you have a shorter inhale, a hold, and then a very long exhale in the form of a tone. How perfect to bring us into this healing state. And I think this is the beauty of working with our guides, is just that trust and that knowing that they are going to bring through whatever is in alignment with our own background and our own life experience to just amplify what we already know and to add their wisdom to what we've always known. And this is the majority of what I do in my mentorship program with other light workers, is figuring out what kinds of beauty and what kinds of wisdom their guides are channeling to them so that they can then go share that with the world too.
Thank you for that. So when people work with your program, what is the best way for them to use the content?
So I love this question because I feel like these courses are the gift that keeps on giving. So the Auric Imprints course is 5 different sessions, and they're all channeled sessions. I give a little bit of introduction into the topic for that evening's course, maybe 5 minutes, and then the whole rest of the course is channeled. And each session is about an hour in length. And each session is broken up into a different topic. So you can kind of skip around and do the ones that you think are most important for you first, or you can take them in order in the way that they were delivered. And what I always tell people is it really depends, the way that you work with the course really depends on your own experience with multidimensional and astral travel. So if it's a part of your practice every day to work with your guides, then absolutely you can do the whole course in 5 hours if you'd like to. But it's more fun to take it more slowly so that you can see the way that each session is having an impact on your life now. And it's not a slow burn kind of class. So once you do one session, the people that I worked with in the course already have said that they saw differences in their lives within a couple of days. So that's pretty exciting. So I usually encourage people to do one session per week and allow things to unfold during that week to see what changes and to see how that particular session has affected you in a positive way. The course starts out with our auric projection and protection, and the Pleiadians and Sirians channel through this incredible process to extend our auras out. So as we were talking about earlier, there's three different layers of your aura. And so they show us how to extend it out so that it can be larger, giving us more room to attract in the things that we want and to set up our energetic boundaries. And then they teach us how to tip our auric field with gold. And after this first session, I received so many messages from people talking about how they were just experiencing a whole new point of attraction in their lives. And I'm not just talking about romantic attraction, but friendships and business colleagues and new opportunities and incredible amounts of abundance were taking place right after this first session as well. So tipping your aura with gold is a really important practice. I encourage you to check that one out. And then the second session focused on healing our otherness. So I was speaking earlier about how I've always known that I'm very different, and my mind works differently, and my body works differently. And this, I think, is something that many light workers experience, and we kind of know from a young age that we're just set up differently. And this can lead to feelings of being othered, sometimes in social situations. And so this second session works with that energy, and there's a transformational healing process in each session to clear out something older. So this is kind of the next best thing to having a private session with me. For example, in this second session of the course, the guides channel through, think of a time when you were othered, when you were made to feel like kind of an outcast or like you didn't quite fit in. And keep in mind that we can always change those things. Our brain does not know the difference between what's right in front of us and what we rewrite. And so we are taken through a transformational healing process in each session, but in particular in this second session, to heal that feeling of being othered, and the guides channel through some tones to cement that in. The third session is about auric filtering, to embrace all that serves you. And auric filtering is very much like allowing your intuition to edit out the things around you, the places, the people, the foods, whatever is happening around you, to edit those things out and keep them from holding you back. And of course, the guides bring through a transformational healing to take us through our history of those things and to rewrite those things with some healing tones as well. The fourth session is about setting boundaries and beginning manifestation. And the fifth is an initiation into the circle of light, which is a really beautiful process, a transformational healing process again, whereby we let go of whatever has been keeping us boxed in and thinking that we aren't able to channel or we aren't able to be healers, whatever is deep within you subconsciously that's going on, that's holding you back from stepping into that purpose. That transformational healing process addresses that and brings through healing tones. And I always encourage people, use these courses again and again, because you will find something different each time. You will heal something different each time. You'll heal a different layer each time. And so I really encourage you, when you check the course out, to use it multiple times and witness the changes around you.
Yes, it's a beautiful journey to witness the changes and then to see how good we are each doing with that. Because each time we witness it and it comes back up again, we can get over it easier, wouldn't you say? I mean, it's
Absolutely.
different and it could be deeper, and it's unique for everyone. For those who have long chronic issues, do you have any advice or suggestions for their healing journey?
Yes. So I think honestly, my biggest, and I've been asked this question so many times, and I know that I give a different answer each time, but I try to just speak from spirit and exactly what spirit is channeling through. And as you were asking the question before it was even out of your mouth, the Arcturians were saying, go with your intuition, go with your intuition. And I think this is something that the modern medical complex has really trained out of us. You know, we kind of know when we meet a new doctor or a new practitioner if that's going to work for us or not. We know on the inside. And I think that the modern medical complex has trained us out of listening to that. And we're trained to just say, you're the doctor, you're the expert, you have the medical degree, I don't. Even though you want me to take this medication that feels really toxic in my body, and actually I think I've been getting worse, you're the expert, so let me just keep doing it. I know I personally did that for a long time, and so there are no judgments here at all. Trust me, I've been there. But I think the most important thing that we can do is to listen to our inner wisdom, our inner guidance, and trust that gut feeling when something's off and when you know that you need something different than what's being recommended to you, and to vocalize that, to say it to whomever your doctor or practitioner is, or to switch doctors or practitioners when you feel so led. Listen to you, because you always know.
What would you say about extra ways to hone the intuition? What's the key element in your mind?
So one of the key elements of honing your intuition, and this is purely my opinion, and I think it is different for everyone, but for me and for most of my clients, it's been about letting go of trauma. Because we all have certain programs that we're running in our heads. So if you had a very traumatic childhood, let's say, for example, there was abuse, verbal, physical, whatever the case may have been, you are running a program of undeservingness because you were taught at such a young age that you weren't deserving of being treated well. And so carrying that around with you, and it's subconscious, right? We're not walking around saying to people, I'm undeserving, I deserve to be treated badly. It's all subconscious, but your auric field again is penetrating that out into the world, projecting that out into the world. And so I think the best thing that we can do for ourselves to tap into our intuition deeper is to resolve old traumas. And I'm more than happy to work with everyone here to resolve those older traumas so that when we are feeling something, when something's coming to light for us, when we're hearing that inner voice say, I need a different practitioner or a different doctor or a different medication, we know that that's coming from our own intuition and not from a programming of, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to heal. I don't deserve to be well, from all of the old things that happened in our past. And I truly, truly believe that we can transcend all of those old programs. It's really the foundation of my work.
And we thank you for that work. Absolutely. So you assist people all along this way. We've talked about your course that is available on this webpage. And you also work one-on-one with people in private sessions.
What I can tell you is that I move with spirit. And so usually a person will come to me and say, I've had fibromyalgia for 10 years, or, some kind of physical malady, or there will be some kind of emotional process that's super overwhelming, like panic attacks or job change, move, partner change, something along those lines. And typically what happens is that the guides start channeling information about you as soon as you book the session. So I have a practice in the morning that I like to do in bed before I even wake up. I close my eyes and I allow the guides to channel through information, and I record it on my voice memos app on my phone. Then I open my email and I see who's booked overnight, and I can actually match the information from the guides with the names. It's very interesting. And so I will bring through whatever the guides have already prepared for them in that way. And then we also talk through, just for 5 or 10 minutes, whatever the current issue is and what they'd like to resolve that day. And then the guides will take us through a transformational healing process, which usually includes some elements of past lives that need to be healed, as well as rewriting some elements of this lifetime that are seeking healing. And then they channel through healing tones to solidify all of that healing. And each person who comes to me is able to record the session. We do things over Zoom, so you can always record. And then I encourage them to use that recording every day, twice a day if they can, for 7 days, because our brains really like repetition and we want to build those new neuronal pathways. And that can be done sometimes in just one time of rewriting and using the tones, but sometimes it needs a little bit more. So I encourage people to use that recording every day for 7 days to really solidify in those new behavior patterns and neuronal pathways.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that and all of your incredible work. The healing tones, absolutely, with the help of the Pleiadians and the Syrians. You, Adalna East, have healed yourself with this technique and these transformational healing tools, and you've made them available for everyone here. And for that, we thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As we end our episode, is there anything you'd like to share as we say goodbye?
Sure. I would just like to say, first of all, thank you to you, Loren, for all that you create in this world. And I'm so grateful to you for the work that you do also, and the sound healing that you provide, and the perspective that you lend to all of us light workers, and your support. And I'd also just like to say to everyone who's listening, if you are feeling stuck, if you're feeling like there's no way to move forward and you're not sure what to do next, please know that your guides are always there to help you. I'm more than happy to help, and I know Loren as well. And we are here to do this together, to raise the vibration of the human collective together. And that can only happen once we are all feeling safe and secure. And like our auric field is able to set those energetic boundaries for us and draw in the things that we need to nurture ourselves. And so I really encourage you to feel into your aura, feel into your intuition, and keep moving forward.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Adalna East. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Loren.